Good evening, folks. I'm smoking my Cobbit, and in it I've got some Casa Doom that Tim gave me. Nearly got to the end of it, but it's certainly been a good smoke. Very enjoyable. I haven't been really keeping up with posting much lately. I've been very busy. My mind's been elsewhere. But I thought I'd start again. Got something from eBay, a wooden, it's not a pipe, it's a thermometer. But I thought it looked nice. It looks rather like a rock, doesn't it? But it's not drilled right down to the stem. Although I suppose I could try and drill it down to the stem. But I just saw it and nobody else bid for it. So I put in a small bid and won it. In fact, the postage was more than the bid that I paid for it. But I thought it was quite nice. And at least I'll know what the temperature is now. Anyway, just to give you an update on how things are going, I'm still losing weight. I'm hoping I'll break 16 stone next Tuesday. I've been taking a pound off, putting a pound on, taking a pound off, putting a pound on. It's been driving me mad. And I think it's all because I've got a block about breaking this next barrier. Because once I break 6 stone, I've only then got 3 stone at the most to go, which is getting near to where I want to be. Excuse me a minute. I've finally persuaded Carolyn that we should go away for a couple of days. We've got somebody who'll take the dogs for the night, well, for 2 nights. And what we're going to do is go down and see Tim and Rebecca, and then the next day see Pam and spend a couple of nights in a hotel, which will be very nice because it means that I don't have to do the cooking and we both get a bit of a rest depending on which hotel I choose. So if that goes well and Carolyn manages with a wheelchair and staying there, I hope to do that a bit more often. There's been a lot of videos recently about changes to YouTube and the possibilities of it affecting the YTCP. And in a sense, there's nothing we can do about that. I mean, if they decide that they don't want anything to do with smokers or allow smokers to post, well, we just have to cope with that. But I hope that we'll be able to find our home somewhere else. The danger is if we all split up and go to different ways of uploading videos. But with a bit of careful thinking and planning, we should all be able to end up in the same place. I certainly miss you lot if we don't. And if I die, I'll come and haunt you all, so make sure I'm included in where you're going. the more I'm a member of this group, the more I sort of feel closer to you guys and girls, but also the differences I see between where we are in the UK and where you are in the States. You know, things like YouTube and the freedom of speech that you claim to have over there. And the difference here, I mean, we don't have a constitution in the same way. We believe in freedom of speech, but we also believe in a responsibility of the person who's speaking. We have a different emphasis, I think. So for a lot of us, the changes that are being made to stop hate speech and that kind of thing are what we would consider sort of a bit more natural thing to do. Of course, the difficulty is, where does it stop? You know, what's offensive to one person isn't offensive to another. But I think over smoking, although people find it offensive, YouTube shouldn't find the YTCP offensive. They can stop our monetization and that kind of thing. But as long as we mark our videos for over 18s, there's no reason why they should want to change us. The other thing I noticed is the difference between your medical care and ours. You know, I hear about people who having to spend a lot of money on medicine and worrying about insurance and that kind of thing. Finding a dentist, going to the doctors, going in for an operation. Whereas over here, with the National Health Service, those things happen. You know, if I need an operation, I go to my doctor and he will send me to see a surgeon and he will do the operation. It's a good system. The danger is that we get people in who are trying to make money out of it. Privatisation and that kind of thing. Because once you start that, they have to make a profit. And then we get the things that come in about what they will do and what they won't do, because profit's the great God. And some things aren't profitable. And if your illness is in the not profitable group, well, tough titty. Whereas if there's an objection about paying so much by the authorities here, we can work around that. We can get things changed. Having said that, I'm very envious of you over there. You know, the freedom you've got in many ways is far greater than our freedom. And certainly the tobaccos that you can get over there are great. I mean, you know, I was looking at Black House because I wanted some. And unfortunately, Cup of Joes don't do it. Well, Cup of Joes are a good way for me to get tobacco because it very rarely gets stopped. But some of the other tobacco companies will get stopped and I'll get customs on it. And as I don't know what the customs charge will be, it's not a regular charge. They can charge what they want, what they feel like, really. So, you know, I'm sort of giving that one a miss and sort of mainly sticking to stuff in this country and what I can get from on the continent, because again, that doesn't get stopped because it's from the continent. I am beginning to build up a cellar. At the moment it's quite small, but I want to build it up so that if the laws for tobacco become tighter or if it becomes very expensive, then I'll have maybe a supply to last me. And certainly I want to get enough, because I'm coming up to 70 now. Well, nobody knows what the future holds, but if I have to eventually go into a nursing home or something like that, if I can smuggle in me cellar, I don't have to buy tobacco, I don't have to worry about the nursing home staff not being willing to buy it for me. And hopefully I'll be able to sneak out with me walking sticks and me wheelchairs or whatever. And me pipe, it's where I hide my pipe that's going to be the big difficulty. But anyway, I'm sure I'll sort that out. I'm enjoying writing still. I write about 2 stories a week. The bricks were down in the house, if any of you know what that means. I'd got an open bottle of black permanent ink, and unfortunately I knocked it off the table onto the carpet. Oh, Carolyn wasn't best pleased. So bricks were down for a bit. But I bought a small rug, and that manages to cover it up very nicely, and it doesn't look too bad. But it looks as if we're going to have to get some new floor covering. At the moment we're tidying up stuff and getting rid of stuff that we no longer use, and taking it down to the charity shop. And then I want to continue clearing the garage, because I want to start turning that into a woodwork shop, and trying to do some woodwork. But as I say, things are going well. I'm enjoying life, and I hope you are. And I hope you have a really good weekend. The problem with being retired is every day's a weekend, and you tend to forget which day's which can cause a little bit of hiccup when you're supposed to remember to go to the doctors for blood tests and that kind of thing. I went for a blood test last week because of my spleen and my liver playing up and my kidneys, and I've got to have a retest because my bloods were, I think the red blood cells were a little bit in trouble, and that sort of points to something wrong with the spleen. Might just be that it's chewing up the cells too soon, because it's responsible for cleaning up the blood, getting rid of the old cells. So I'm hoping that if it is just that, then I can live without a spleen. I don't think it's anything too serious, because I'm not feeling bad at all. Things are feeling quite good. But you realise when you get to 70 years old, or nearly 70, I'm 70 in August, that bits of your body sort of start slowing down and objecting. I still feel as if I'm a sort of teenager or a kid. In fact, I've got my shirt on that sort of, don't know whether you'll be able to see it, but Born to be Wild But now it's only until about 9 o'clock at night, and then I have to change that and go to bed. But up until 9, I can be quite hot. It's now 10:30. Anyway, I shall stop there, just about. But I want to wish you every blessing and wish that every day is sort of going to be special for you. Always remember, when things are really dark, they don't last forever usually. And those bad patches that we go through, we tend to look back and say, well, I got through it. Okay, not everybody does. But I hope you do. I hope you're blessed and your family's blessed and you hold on to the important things. You know, nobody ever said to me on their deathbed when I was a priest, I wish I'd have spent more time working. The majority of them say, I wish I'd have spent more time with my family. We should have spent time with what's important. You can't take it with you. We all leave this life as we came in, usually stark naked and helpless. He's cheerful tonight, isn't he? Yes, I'm sorry about that. I'll try and be a bit more lively. Anyway, every blessing, and I'll speak to you again soon.